everyone. I just thought I'd come on and make a video just to kind of give you guys an update of what's going on here with the ministry and with basically my life and my son. And so basically it's about me, my son, and the ministry. Where do I begin? I guess since I put out the video about the law and taxes, or taxes and the law, some things have come up that have really affected the ministry. It seems like basically an all-out attack against the ministry, kind of coming against, coming from every direction. Things. Let's start with my son. Things progressed with his court situation. First of all, he was able to come and stay with me full-time. The court has appointed my home a place, so he got bail. He was able to stay here out on bail as he goes through his court process. So we're working through, court-appointed counseling and, meetings with probation officers and all these kinds of things. So he's got lots of, and court appearances and all that kind of stuff. So there's lots of little things that I'm dealing with, that I have to take him to, that I have to drive him to, that kind of thing. And that's all progressing well. I mean, him and I are, living well. We're kind of working through some of the stuff, here, some of the spiritual stuff I'm explaining. I'm working with him. There's a lot of ground to cover. There's lots to do. So he's somewhat wanting to follow the Lord, but he's still kind of, on the fence when it comes to all that. The world is kind of creeping back a little bit now that he's, a little more comfortable again. And so definitely keep him in your prayers. As far as that's concerned, it's, it's stuff that we're working through. The next thing that I'd like to talk about, I mentioned in the last video about the taxes situation. Well, that's coming up right away. It's tax season now. I haven't, all of the ministry finances, all the receipts, everything is with an accountant now. They have to set it all up as a business, as a home-based business, basically. And I'm not sure exactly what's going to happen, but it's looking like it's probably going to have to pay taxes somewhere in the $2,500 to $3,000 range, somewhere in there. And that's coming up like right away, just about it's just about the end of February now, so that's coming up. Now, of course, there's lawyer fees and everything on top of that that's come up with my son's situation. That's probably going to be around the $2,000 mark, something like that. So, finances are getting hit. The next thing that happened was after I posted the video about, asking for your guys' help, I got hit. My vehicle, it broke down. The 4x4 went out in it. I took it to the shop. They suspected about a $900 fix to fix some seals and the differential and all this kind of stuff. So we fixed it. It wasn't a guaranteed fix though. It depended if the clutch was gone. And so anyway, they fixed the seals. That didn't fix the problem. Then digging deeper, found out that the the rear differential and the 4x4 went out. Had to replace it. Long story short, it's about $2,600. So the enemy is finding ways to come in and and just drawing the money out of the ministry. And it's I have to battle this constant. The enemy's trying to put worry on me, saying your ministry's going down, you're losing all your money, and all that kind of thing. And I'm doing my best to not come into agreement with it. I'm doing my best to stay in agreement with the Lord that He is my provider, and He will see us through. But I just want to let you guys know, what kind of stuff's been going on, all since, this last couple of months here, or last month or so. The next thing that happened after that was right along the same time as my vehicle was broke down. While my vehicle was broke down, I was having pain in my arm and in my chest area, and it's been kind of lingering for about a month or so, and I just thought I pulled a muscle or whatever. I didn't know what it was, but it's been really bad, to the point where it put me in the ER twice, because I thought I was having a heart attack twice. So once I got into the ER, they did tests, they hook you up to all kinds of stuff, they do the blood work, and I'm praying all the time, covering my blood and saying, Lord, do not allow anybody to use this blood for evil means, and covering it in the blood and sealing gateways whenever they puncture me. I'm doing everything I can to pray this through and make sure that, Lord, deliver me anything that's fake or false or any lies of the enemy. But at the same time, I'm having, heart attack symptoms like to the T, and anyway, the second time that the first time I was able to drive down to the hospital, my vehicle wasn't in the shop yet, but the second time my vehicle was in the shop over the weekend, and sure enough, while my vehicle's away, I wasn't able to drive, and I had to call 911, and then that brought on another $350 or $350 bill, ambulance bill, and then anyway, when I get down to the hospital, of course, then once I'm in a resting state, and I'm resting and laying in bed there, then all the symptoms go away. And the same thing is still true today. It's still happening. If I go out for a walk, as soon as I walk a little bit, as soon as I exert myself a little bit, all of a sudden I'm getting a little bit of short of breath, I'm having chest pains, I'm having pain down my arm, and there's obviously there's something going on. I know it's all spiritual, but at the same time, they're possibly, I don't want to come into agreement with anything. I don't know what it is, I've been praying through this thing for quite a while now, and it doesn't seem to be lifting. It seems to be somewhat better, but it doesn't seem to be going away. And I've had 2 more attacks that were worse than the first 2 that put me in the ER. And I prayed through them, and one time, as soon as I started praying, I prayed in English for half an hour, 45 minutes, and I was just praying hard. And then finally, in the end, I started praying in tongues, and it was like my tongues went to a different level, and all of a sudden it lifted. A while later, about a week or so later, I had another attack, and I don't remember exactly what happened on the last one, but anyway, it's just like, it's not leaving, it's still there. This attack, I believe it's targeted witchcraft, is what I believe, and I've been kind of holding off on this video. I didn't want to put a video out there explaining all these, demonic attack that's coming through, because I didn't want these Satanists and witches to think that they're winning, kind of thing. But at the same time, I had to put off booking appointments and stuff for now until I'm dealing with all this stuff. So my son's court case, he has to put in his plea in the first week of March, so kind of waiting until that goes through, and then now I understand what the lawyer's plans are and everything else, and how the court process is going to proceed. I could probably start taking bookings again in the middle of first week to the middle of March and start booking right away, but then my health issues and stuff that are going on, I'm not sure what's going to happen with this now. I'm supposed to go, you know, the tests that they checked at the hospital, everything is perfect. My blood was perfect. The blood work was all perfect. My blood pressure was fine. You know, they couldn't detect that I had a heart attack at all. But they want me to go and do stress tests and stuff like that. And I've put them all off because I have my son here, and I can't. If I go and get this stuff done, and if they find out that I need some kind of surgery, then my son is stuck here and he's under curfew, and you know, he needs somebody here to be with him. And you know, there's just lots on my plate. There's lots for me to deal with, and I need to deal with my son's situation first. That's priority at the moment. You know, getting into all of his things so that he, you know, stays good with his probation order and everything. There's all of that, you know. And then, you know, it's tax season. I got to look after that stuff here right away. All there's lots of money coming out, you know. And even prior to all of this stuff, I was helping another young guy that he was in one of the videos, the fishing video that I made a while ago. I've been helping him since the summer. He ended up homeless. His parents, you know, there's lots of family situations there, but his father ended up in the mental hospital, and while he was in the mental hospital, their bills weren't getting covered, and he lost his house, and he ended up homeless. And so from last summer until just recently, I was helping him, and so there was quite a bit of money going out helping this guy. And so my bills have been, you know, for months they've been double what they should be, or what they normally were. Now even more money's coming out. All the money that I basically was saving and going to use to purchase a building of some kind for the ministry or whatever, that's all going out. I've got about, like, in my bank account, I think I have about $2,500 remaining. That's not even enough to cover the taxes that are coming. So yeah, it's just going out like a sieve. And you know, I don't want to glorify Satan in any way, because I know God's in control, and I trust him, and I know he's going to work this thing out. But yeah, there's just a lot of money going out, and next to nothing coming in right now. There's been, even after I put out the video asking for help, I got about 5 or 6 donations come in right after that were help, but it was only about $300, you know. So $300 is, compared to the 5,000 or 6,000 that has gone out, you know, is drop in the bucket kind of thing. So yeah, it almost seems like it's a bit of a Job type situation going on here. I mean, nowhere near what Job went through, but you know, it seems that way. And it seems like, you know, Job got hit from every side. He got hit from, you know, like he literally lost his whole family. And I have lost my whole family, as far as, like, spiritually, they don't want to follow the Lord, and they've excluded me, my whole entire family. You know, to have my son here is a real blessing for me, my youngest son. You know, but there's that aspect. I've lost my whole family. I'm trying to build up a ministry for the Lord, and now all that, everything's getting hit from every direction, and it all seems to be going away. I can question, I don't know what I'm doing personally that might be allowing this kind of attack to happen. The Lord hasn't given me any indication as to what that is, as far as I know. And, you know, I'm doing my best. I'm repenting of anything that I know of, anything that, you know, whatever. But there must be some kind of open door going on. I don't know. To be honest, I don't know what it is. I'm praying and praying and praying through the attacks. I'm praying through as much as I can, and I'm trusting the Lord through this situation. You know, I know everybody's going to have their ideas. Everybody's going to have their kind of certain advice, this, that, and the other thing. And I appreciate I appreciate everybody's advice, whatever they can give, but more importantly, I would appreciate, prayer. Prayer is the most important. I need revelation from the Lord. I need to know what His will is in all of this, and I trust Him in it. I trust Him in the process. If I thought that this ministry, going into this kind of ministry, was just going to be a walk in the park, it was going to be easy, I never thought that. I knew going into this, let's put it that way, I knew going into this kind of ministry that it was not going to be easy. I knew following the Lord was not going to be easy. The disciples, when they all died, except one, every single one of them paid the price to serve the Lord and to get the gospel out so that we can be believers today. If they didn't do what they did, we wouldn't be doing what we're doing today. So it's not going to be easy. We're going to be persecuted. Satan's not going to be happy with us, especially when we're moving into areas where we're doing damage against his kingdom. So, again, keep me in your prayers. Satan obviously isn't happy. And, and I guess I could use you guys' help now. Going through this trial that we're going through is pretty difficult. It's, it's difficult balancing, the spiritual and what's going on in the natural. And, everything is driven by the spiritual, and I know that, and but there's still stuff that has to be done in the natural, You still have to look after things. You still got to do stuff. You still got to, I can't just sit here and do nothing and expect God to get my son to his probation officer on time and get him to the court cases or the courthouse at certain times, and I can't just not have this stuff with my health checked out. But it's a balance between working with what's going on and trusting the Lord, and even with the money situation and stuff like that, it's like I know that God is our provider, and I know and I trust Him. He's provided for me all the way along. As soon as I gave my life to the Lord fully, where I fully surrendered and I said, okay, God, everything is yours, He's provided for me, and it's been scary at times, because there's been times in the past where I've literally ran right out of money, and next thing you know, He revealed the next step, His plan, and and then I was covered good for the next 2 years, kind of thing, or whatever, in the one case. But in other cases, He's just constantly making the way. He will close a door and then open a new door. And so I don't know exactly how this is all going to play out. I don't know what's going on. I don't think that God's wanting to close this door at this ministry. I don't think that. If that's the case, that's the case. But regardless, I do trust the Lord. I trust Him in everything. And whatever happens, I know that He's in control. I'm going to do my best to do my part, and I'm going to do my best to trust Him with His part. I'm going to do my best to not come into worry, and that's another difficult thing, is to not worry about these things. There's lots of you guys out there that really need help, and I don't want to forget about you. I don't want to not be here for you, I want to be here for you guys from now until the Lord calls me home, or He returns, whatever comes first, and that is my goal. And unless the Lord reveals something different, which He hasn't, then that's my goal. I'm gonna continue to do what I have to do, but I have to prioritize stuff, and right now, the stuff that's going on in my life, I have to put first, and it's difficult. It's such a balancing act to stay in God's will, to stand firm in the truth, because it's so easy to start worrying and getting off track this way, then it's easy to go this way and start doing more than I should, and try and do things in the flesh and in my own will, rather than, what the Lord's leading, and it's just a balancing act, and it's, you know, it's not easy all the time. Nobody's perfect, and you know, and I'm certainly not perfect either. So again, I thank you again for your prayers and support. You know, just keep praying that the Lord will guide me and continue giving me His wisdom in every area. You know, whether it's, you know, finances, whether it's, you know, the accounting stuff, the business stuff. I don't like calling it business but that's what I have to go the world's way, the government's way. You know, I have to set this up as a home-based business. It's just the way it is. You know, I'd rather call it a ministry, but I got to build myself and build this ministry up to that place where it becomes a ministry, and it's not my home business. It's actually a ministry that's running you know, on its own. Anyway, I just thought I'd give you guys an update of where things are at, and I do plan on doing, you know, as people are calling or emailing in and asking for appointments, I'm telling them to contact me in the middle of March, and I'll start booking appointments then. Hopefully by then I've got most of this stuff sorted out, and I can get back on track again with everything, and with, you know, with appointments and deliverances and videos and everything else. But in the meantime, I appreciate your prayers. That's, you know, obviously there's an attack coming from every direction. It's coming against my health, it's coming against the finances, against the ministry. You know, it's stopping me from ministering. It's against my son. He's, you know, he was terrified, and he came crying to the Lord, and then now that he's been out, you know, there's lots of draws trying to suck him back to his hometown and old friends, and, you know, stuff like that. And so there's just an all-out assault coming from every direction, and prayer is definitely appreciated. Yeah, I guess that's about all I have to say. Not sure if there's anything else that I'm missing. Keep us in your prayers, guys. I really appreciate you guys. Love you all, and I thank you so much for your help and support. God bless.
Lie with me. Fast falls the eventide. The darkness deep.